Bonjour, French 2 students. Here is your Lesson 26 A and B teaching video, pages 374 to 377 in your textbook. S'il vous plaît, ouvrez vos livres à la page 374. Leçon 26, à la cantine. Il est midi et demi. Suzanne va à la cantine. Elle rencontre Jean-Marc. So, in the school cafeteria, it is 12:30. Suzanne is going to the school cafeteria. She meets Jean-Marc. Est-ce que tu veux déjeuner avec moi? Ça dépend. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a aujourd'hui? Il y a du poisson. Du poisson? Oui, du poisson. Quelle horreur! Bon, aujourd'hui, je ne veux pas déjeuner. Il y a aussi du gâteau. Du gâteau? Et de la glace? Une minute, je vais prendre un plateau. So Suzanne starts by asking, do you want to have lunch with me? It depends. What is there today? There is some fish. Some fish? Yes, some fish. How disgusting. Good. Today I am not going to have lunch. There's also some cake. Some cake. And some ice cream. 1 minute. I'm going to take a tray. So he doesn't want the fish, but the cake and the ice cream sound pretty good. All right, the note culturelle à la cantine. Où est-ce que tu déjeunes pendant la semaine? Quand on habite près de l'école, on peut rentrer à la maison. Quand on habite loin, on déjeune à la cantine. À midi, beaucoup de jeunes Français déjeunent à la cantine de leur école. À la cantine, chacun prend un plateau et va chercher sa nourriture. Cette nourriture est généralement bonne, abondante et variée. Le menu change chaque jour de la semaine. Un repas typique inclut les plats suivants. Un hors d'œuvre, salade de concombre, salade de pommes de terre, carottes râpées, jambon. Un plat principal chaud. Poulet, steak, côtelette de porc. Une garniture. Spaghetti, frites, petits pois, purée de pommes de terre. Une salade verte. Du fromage. Un dessert. Glace ou fruits. Une boisson. Eau minérale, limonade, jus de fruits. Où est-ce que tu préférais déjeuner? À ton école ou dans une école française? All right, so working through the translation here at the school cafeteria. Where do you eat during the week? When one lives near the school, one can return home. When one lives far, one has lunch at the school cafeteria. At noon, a lot of young French people have lunch in the school cafeteria or in the cafeteria of their school. In the cafeteria, each one takes a tray and goes to get his or her food. This food is generally good, plentiful, and varied. The menu changes each day of the week. A typical meal includes the following dishes. Appetizers: cucumber salad, potato salad, grated onions, ham. And just a moment here, comment about the cucumber salad. That tends to be thinly sliced cucumbers served with an oil and vinegar dressing. All right. A hot main dish: chicken, steak, pork chop. Side dish: spaghetti, French fries, peas, mashed potatoes. Okay, a green salad. Okay, so a green salad is lettuce and vinaigrette, and it's served after the main course. So in France, the order that you see here, this is the order that a meal would have. So salad, notice, comes after your main dish, followed by a cheese course, and then your dessert. Okay? Du fromage, some cheese. So cheese is served as a separate course after the salad. Un dessert, so dessert. Ice cream or fruit. A drink. Mineral water, lemonade, fruit juice. Where would you prefer to have lunch? In your school or in a French school? So, some other things about the meal. In school cafeterias in France, there are two ways of serving meals. Family style, the cafeteria personnel brings the dishes to the table and students serve themselves. There is no choice of menu. So they kind of bring everything and put it on the tables, and then you just take what you'd like. And cafeteria, where students take a tray and select what they want to eat. So in this lesson, we're going to be introduced first to two new irregular verbs. The first irregular verb is vouloir. Remember, irregular means for you, it's something you have to memorize. So again, we're going to do a conjugation chart. And vouloir means to want. And the forms of vouloir are je veux. So you've actually seen this before way back in French 1A when you said, you asked tu veux or je veux, and you were talking about food and drink. Elle veut sounds the same, but it's spelled differently and ends in a T. Nous voulons. Vous voulez, and il and elle pluriel veulent. So again, there is a little bit of a pattern here, right? We see the EU in our boot forms, and then the OU like the infinitive in the nous and the vous forms. Because you've learned that past tense, okay, this is a verb that uses avoir for its helper verb. And then the past participle is voulu. Now, you also back in French 1 used a little bit more polite word or form than je veux, which was je voudrais. Which was I would like. And it's just a little bit more polite. So you would use it more likely in a restaurant or a cafe. And you might also use it if you were a guest at somebody's house and they asked you what you would like. You would be more likely to use je voudrais instead of saying je veux. This verb is also used when you accept invitations or an offer. And it's often you say je veux bien, which typically kind of means I do or I want to or I would love to. So, s'il vous plaît, répétez vouloir, vouloir, je veux, tu veux, tu veux, Il veut, on veut, nous voulons, nous voulons, vous voulez, vous voulez, ils veulent, elles veulent. The past participle here is voulu. S'il vous plaît, répétez voulu, voulu, je voudrais, je voudrais, je veux bien, je veux bien. So again, I would definitely encourage you to have this in your notes. We also have another irregular verb in this first part, which is the irregular verb prendre. Now you did see this in lesson 25. They introduced you to this verb because you use it to say that you're going to have breakfast. Prendre means to take. The forms of prendre are je prends, tu prends, il, elle, on prend. Nous prenons, vous prenez, and il and elle pluriel prennent. And what's different here is the ends double. And then again, the passé composé for prendre uses avoir as its first verb that you conjugate, and the past participle is pris. Now, there are a couple other verbs that are like prendre in that they follow this conjugation, and those are, and it doesn't always just mean to take, it also can mean to have food. So other verbs that follow this pattern are apprendre, and apprendre sometimes is followed by apprendre with an a. Apprendre means to learn. And to conjugate it, basically all you do is put an AP in front of your forms of prendre. And when you have apprendre a plus an infinitive, so like a verb, it means to learn how to. So if you wanted to say, I'm learning how to swim, j'apprends à nager. Okay, so with an infinitive, some sort of verb, is going to tell you, talk about how to learn how to do something. And then there's also comprendre, which means to understand. S'il vous plaît, répétez prendre, prendre, je prends, je prends, tu prends, tu prends, elle prend, on prend, nous prenons, nous prenons, vous prenez, vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. Apprendre, apprendre, apprendre à, apprendre à, comprendre, comprendre. So another irregular verb that I really would encourage you to have written down in your notes. So let's take a look at this the way it's introduced to you in your textbook. À la page 376, le verbe vouloir. Note the forms of the irregular verb vouloir, to want. S'il vous plaît, répétez vouloir, je veux, tu veux, on veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, elle veut. S'il vous plaît, répétez je veux aller au café, tu veux déjeuner, on veut dîner, nous voulons une glace, vous voulez des spaghettis, ils veulent des frites. J'ai voulu, voulu. J'ai voulu dîner chez Maxime. So kind of working through what those sentences are saying, right? I want to go to the cafe. You want to have lunch. One wants to have dinner. We want an ice cream. You want some spaghetti. They want some fries. I wanted to have dinner at Maxime's house. When making a request, French speakers often use je voudrais, I would like, which is more polite than je veux. S'il vous plaît, répétez je voudrais. Je voudrais un café. Je voudrais dîner. When accepting an offer, French speakers often use the expression je veux bien. S'il vous plaît, répétez je veux bien. Est-ce que tu veux déjeuner avec moi? Oui, je veux bien. So, do you want to have lunch with me? Yes, I want to, or I do. So, let's look at a couple exercises. Exercice 1, vive la différence. Nous sommes samedi, des amis vont en ville. Pour le déjeuner, chacun veut faire des choses différentes. So, live for differences. It's Saturday. Some friends are going in town. For lunch, each wants to do different things. So notice what we're doing here is in our backslash, we're putting our conjugated form of vouloir. Right, so we have je veux, tu veux, il, elle, on veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, il et elle pluriel veulent. Okay. So Cécile becomes Cécile veut aller dans un café. So if you would say the sentence and then you'll hear me say it for confirmation. Numéro 1. Nous voulons manger des frites. 2. Tu veux manger une pizza. 3. Vous voulez aller dans un restaurant italien. 4. Je veux aller dans un restaurant chinois. 5. Ils veulent déjeuner à midi. 6. Isabelle veut déjeuner à 1h. Exercice 2, oui ou non. Dis si oui ou non, les personnes entre parenthèses veulent faire les choses indiquées. Yes or no. Say if yes or no, the people in parentheses want to do the indicated things. So the first sentence is there to help you decide whether they do or they don't. So some of these are going to be affirmative and some are going to be negative. Remember, to make it negative, we just add a ne and a pas around our conjugated form of vouloir. So for example, il est midi, and we have nous and déjeuner. So déjeuner, remember, means to have lunch. So at noon you would probably have lunch. So oui, nous voulons déjeuner. C'est samedi, les élèves et étudiants. So it's Saturday, the students are studying. Okay, so no, les élèves ne veulent pas étudier. So numéro 1. Okay. Il fait froid. No, Eric ne veut pas jouer au foot. 2. Il fait beau. Oui, mes copains veulent aller à la plage. 3. La nourriture est mauvaise. No, no, vous ne voulez pas déjeuner à la cantine. 4. Il y a des spaghettis. Oui, je veux dîner. Or, non, je ne veux pas dîner. 5. Il y a une excellente comédie. Oui, tu veux regarder la télé. Or, non, tu ne veux pas regarder la télé. 6. C'est dimanche. Non, nous ne voulons pas travailler. Mais le verbe prendre, note the forms of the irregular verb prendre, to take. S'il vous plaît, répétez prendre. Je prends. Tu prends. On prend. Nous prenons. Vous prenez. Elle prend. J'ai pris. S'il vous plaît, répétez prendre. Je prends une pizza. Tu prends un sandwich. On prend une salade. Nous prenons le train. Vous prenez l'avion. Elle prend des photos. J'ai pris un steak. So you would use this verb oftentimes when you're talking about ordering food in a restaurant. So, je prends une pizza means I'll take a pizza or I'll have a pizza. You are having or taking a sandwich. One takes a salad. You take, or sorry, yeah, we take the train. You take the airplane. They take some pictures or some photos. I ordered or I took a steak. The singular forms follow the pattern of regular RE verbs. It's the plural forms that are irregular. So these look a bit like regular RE verbs. And then we have verb comprendre. S'il vous plaît, répétez prendre. Prendre. Nous prenons le métro. Est-ce que tu prends un café? Apprendre. Apprendre. Nous apprenons le français. Apprendre à. Apprendre à. Sophie apprend à jouer de la guitare. Comprendre. Comprendre. Est-ce que vous comprenez l'espagnol? Working through the translation of those, right? We are taking the metro. Do you take or kind of want to order a cafe? Are you ordering a cafe? We learn French. Sophie is learning how to play the guitar. Do you understand Spanish? So, exercice 4, qu'est-ce qu'il prend? Dis ce que les personnes suivantes prennent. Pour cela, choisissez une expression logique de la liste. So, what are they taking? Say what the following people take. For each, choose a logical expression from the list. So, you're going to choose from this list that is here. So, again, the sentence for our prompt is to help us decide which item from the box we should choose. So, Philippe a faim. So, Philippe is hungry. So, of those choices there, if he's hungry, il prend un steak frit. So, you're going to use in your sentence the same subject as the subject of the prompt in our book. And then you're going to use the conjugated form of prendre. And then something from the list. So, again, I'm going to give you a chance to do these and then you'll hear confirmation. So, numéro 1, j'ai très soif. Je prends une limonade. 2, vous n'avez pas très faim. Vous prenez une salade. 3, Elon a un nouvel appareil photo. Elle prend des photos. 4. Tu vas à l'aéroport. Tu prends un taxi. 5. Nous allons à l'école. Nous prenons le bus. 6. Les touristes vont à la Statue de la Liberté. Ils prennent un bateau. So your homework are the 2 exercises that we did do out loud. So again, remember for this one, in the backslash, you're putting a conjugated form of vouloir. I want you to write out the whole sentence. So for number 1, you would have nous voulons manger des frites. So you're writing out those 6 sentences there for exercise 1. Exercise 4, again, we just did this one. Again, you're going to use the same subject. Then you're going to have your conjugated form of prendre. And then something from the list. And again, I want you to write out the whole sentence. So, j'ai très soif, if I'm very thirsty, then I'm going to have or take a lemonade, une limonade. So you're writing out those sentences for the 6 of those. Au revoir, à demain.